What it do, craft beer aficionados? Flying Brian J here. In 2016, Deschutes Brewing out of Bend, Oregon discontinued my favorite beer, the Chainbreaker White IPA. Let's pour one out for that, but they continue to make really good beers. We're here to talk about Mirror Pond Pale Ale from Deschutes. On Untappd, it gets a 3.6 rating. On the bottle here, we can see that it has 5% alcohol by volume and has 40 IBUs. Other information that we can gather from the bottle: profile, floral, citrus, and caramel notes balanced with beautiful simplicity of the Cascade hop. So Cascade is the only hop that's in this baby. For the artwork, you know, I've never been to Oregon, but it definitely feels like Oregon to me. Anyway, without further ado, let's pop the top on this baby and put it in my shaker pint glass, which ratebeer.com recommends. Really nice color to it, basically what I would expect when we're talking about a pale ale here. I gave it very little head, just the one finger of head, but for the color, it looks like caramel, looks like a little bit orangey. I could already smell some citrus when I popped the top on that thing, so let's just get a nose on it straight away. Yep, bursting with citrus notes, orange, grapefruit, maybe a little bit of lemon in there, but for a single hop beer, this is pretty damn complex in the smell. Shining through, just like the bottle says, we've got some caramel notes from, oh, I don't know, I'm guessing in the mid ranges of, you know, like caramel 80 or something. And it's a little biscuity, so I would expect there to be something other than just two-row and a little bit of caramel. Biscuity smell, really complex in the nose, like I said, for being a single hop beer. Clarity, not the clearest beer ever, but for me, who really gives a shit how clear a beer is? It's all about that taste. So let's get in on that. Mouthfeel, it's you know, it's a medium mouthfeel. It's pretty robust though. It's reaching all areas of my mouth with the sweetness. I'm loving the caramelness on the front of my tongue, and the bitterness. One thing about a lot of pale ales, they're meandering over into the IPA section. This, obviously, from the 40 IBUs, is real drinkable. No bitterness hanging out. We got some citrus, grapefruit, orange going over my tongue as well. Slight floral, which maybe that's there, maybe it's not, maybe I'm crazy, who knows? Yeah, I'm a little crazy. The caramel really rounding out the flavor with some sweetness. I mentioned the candy bar feeling in another beer that I reviewed. It's not quite that candy bar feeling where it makes your cheeks feel tingly from all the sugar that's in it, but overall, phenomenal tasting beer for how simple it is. Yeah, that's one of the most drinkable pale ales I think that you're ever going to come across. I think, in my opinion, it's a solid beer, but I think they started making this beer in like 1986. Since then, we had the craft beer just explosion, the revolution, whatever you want to call it, beers of this style are way more complex today. So for that reason, it's not as complex. Some of the nose, it does smell pretty damn good, but I've smelled better pale ales. I've tasted better pale ales, and I know that I said it's super drinkable, so if you have a friend that's not really into the craft beer, you want to get them in. I mention this a lot because I want to get more people into craft beer. I want to make more and more craft breweries throughout the country. If there is an explosion, I want to amplify it. This is one of the beers that you're going to want to recommend to one of your buddies who might not necessarily be a hop head. This is a really easy drinking beer. I love the sweetness, how it balances out the hop, but it's not as complex, and it's really just simply not as good as some of the pale ales that I've had in the past and that I plan to review in the future. Overall, I'm going to give this beer a 4.0 out of 5. I don't really have any specific reasons why I'm taking that off other than it's not the perfect pale ale, and I have had better pale ales, so I can't give it a 5. Look, taste, smell, mouthfeel, all pretty damn good. You know, it's a B student, so that's right where it ranks. Tell me if you've ever had this beer and what you would rate it in the comment section down below. Until then, until I see you on my next video where I plan to review 8-Bit Pale Ale from Tallgrass Brewing out of Wichita, Kansas. If you drink, don't drive. do the watermelon crawl. Cheers and namaste. I really like the beer though. I know I gave it a lower grade, but I really enjoy it. It's just, I have had pale ales that I like more. I feel like I might have given it a lesser grade than it really deserves. It's such a good beer, especially when we're talking about single hopped. Now there isn't a single hop edition, but it's just got Cascade hops in the damn thing. I love how the sweetness really cuts on the hop character. Barely any, it's mostly citrus on the tongue. That's a damn good beer, guys. Deschutes, you really can't go wrong with it. Cheers. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.